Hello friends around the world, thank you for tuning in to nightowlrider.com. We had two very special and very interesting ladies join us today. We had Jaime Baecker and we had Holley Moseley, who have a lot in common and a lot to say. I'm sitting here with two extremely wonderful ladies, and they both each have their own stories to tell. I'll pass you over to Holley.
Hello, I'm Holley Moseley. I'm from Gulf Breeze, Florida. I'm married and have 3 kiddos. 2 of my girls are out here today running all over the farm. And have a long story. I don't know how much of that you want me to share.
We'll get into it in just a moment.
Get into it.
And we have a new friend here joining us this morning.
Jaime Baecker, here also with my family. One of my daughters behind us with Night Owl. And a little one running around here somewhere. Married, and I live in Pace and have sparotherapy services. So we work with individuals with a various range of needs, and try to use horses as the vehicle to help them.
So let me join this all together a minute. You have a mutual connection. How did you all meet?
Right. So we both have daughters with epilepsy. So we met through an epilepsy support group, a local one in Pensacola.
Okay. And was it through the equine therapy that you met, or through another support group?
No, through the
epilepsy. Yeah, through that. Yeah.
All right. Do you deal a lot with epileptic children at the therapy farm?
I do, and personally, Skylar has epilepsy, so it's both personal and professional. But yes, we do serve several children with epilepsy.
What's the name of your farm?
Sparotherapy is the business itself.
And how many horses do you have out there?
We have 2 horses right now. We had 3. One of them just retired, and I borrow one from a neighbor, so we'll say 2.5.
Do you have licensed therapists?
I am. I'm the licensed therapist.
You're a licensed therapist. So, and how many people come to visit you on a regular basis?
We do 10-week semesters, 10 to 12-week semesters, and during that semester I'll serve anywhere from 13 to 18 individuals on a weekly basis.
And is it only for epileptic children?
No, children and adults, not just children, but primarily end up serving children more often. But now I have a range of needs from spinal muscular atrophy, CP, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, quite a few individuals on the autism spectrum. So varying needs, and then also some children who are transitioning from foster care into permanent placement, or who are struggling with adoption and the transition.
So can you just for our viewers, tell us a little bit about the process? I mean, people show up and they meet one of your horses, or both of them, and what's the effect? What's the therapeutic value of that?
Wow, well, we could be here a while.
Yeah, that's a loaded question.
It is. It depends on the individual, really, and it is very individualized service, because whether their needs are more physical, or if they're coming from more emotional or behavioral, or it could be cognitive, that they're really struggling with learning, or hi.
That's Barry. All right, come on, Barry.
So it really depends on the individual, but by nature of being on the horse and the movement of the horse, everyone benefits physically from that, from core strength and lengthening of muscles, and balance, coordination. There's kind of a range of benefits there physically just from riding, and anyone who's been on a horse knows that you use muscles you don't know you have.
Yeah, right.
So, and the movement of the horse really simulates walking. So for individuals who are maybe wheelchair bound or can't walk, you're utilizing those muscles on the horse that you wouldn't be utilizing.
So it's a mobility they're not normally have at all.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then there's a lot of executive function that goes on when you're riding, trying to plan ahead, trying to make decisions on how to communicate with the horse to execute a plan. So if the horse is one, and you have an obstacle course and you're wanting the horse to go through a pattern, there's a lot of judgment and planning and thinking that has to happen initiative.
And are horses naturally intuitive in picking up on a range of senses, emotions, or what's the theory behind all of that?
Definitely. Well, they are prey animals, so in the wild they would be another animal's prey. So because of that, they are wired to be very sensitive to their surroundings and to their environment and people's emotions. Studies have even shown that they can recognize a smile on someone's face versus a grimace, that they respond to that. They also have some studies that have looked at heart rate and respiration between the person and the horse, and they will move to a closer range. So the horse will modulate their physical biomechanics to match the person.
Did you start this program for Skylar, or because of her epilepsy, or
no,
was this just a...
It's something I actually started volunteering before she was born at another facility.
Oh, wow.
Just because I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do out of college, and as I started volunteering, fell in love with it, having a background in horses and interest in sciences and psychology. However, I felt ill-equipped because I hadn't worked with that population, and then God equipped me, and I had Skylar and several other children, but through that, being a parent, being on both sides, both as parent and provider.
Wonderful. Yeah, Skylar was just telling me that she has her horse, right?
Yes.
She couldn't remember the age, but I think it's a little younger than she professed.
Yeah.
But so she rides.
She does.
Is she out every day with the horses, or is it just an occasional?
It depends on the day, yeah.
Okay.
So she's out a lot with them.
Right. And how is the epilepsy situation with her? Is she
It is improved greatly. She still has multiple a month, but it's not multiple a day, so we're thankful for that. And so for her, that we've reached a fairly stable place.
Well, Holley, you've gone through a very similar situation. You have a very involved story. Tell me how that all came about. I mean, I know you have 2 children. There are 3 children. Excuse me. Sorry,
Okay,
Gabby.
that's okay.
All right, 3 children. So tell me how all that came about, and your world with epilepsy, and how you've helped change legislation, state-wise, federally. I know you're involved with the realm of caring, Charlotte's Web, and you had your own Ray of Hope that you started. So tell me a little bit about how that all came about.
So I'm a pediatric nurse, and I was working at Sacred Heart Children's Hospital in Pensacola, and went to work one day and was assigned a patient by the name of Rayanne. She was a 2-year-old little girl with cerebral palsy and epilepsy, and she was hospitalized for medical shelter, meaning there was not a medical foster home in the community for her. So she was brought to the hospital, and I just happened to be her nurse that day, and just instantly felt a connection. And my husband and I wanted to know if we could bring her home and give her a home for Christmas that year. And sure enough, we were able to bring her home, and just felt instantly that that's where she was always supposed to be.
What age was she? You adopted her at some point.
She was 2 when she came to live with us. We ended up adopting when she was 4.
Okay.
So she was, at first it was kind of a getting to know each other, getting to learn the seizures, and how much of her was from the neglect, and then how much was from her diagnosis.
Were they frequent at the time you met her?
Yes. So she started having seizures at birth on first day of life, and had them every day from there. And so we were just kind of getting to know each other, and just could never get control of the seizures, and just really were trying anything and everything that we could. Went for multiple, opinions to doctors all over the state. Finally went to a doctor at the University of Florida, who kind of changed our way of thinking and taught us more is not always better. Before, we had always been taught more medication, up that medication to its max dose, add another medication, to the point where Rayanne was on 4 medications, 2 of them maxed out, and she was just kind of a shell of herself. She had lost her personality, and it wasn't functioning how we hoped she would, but she was still seizing too.
Well, now she has lots of personality. She's here, over there, I think, feeding the peacocks, after saying hello to Night Owl. And Rayanne's now 16 years old?
She is.
And I think you told me she's seizure-free.
Yes, so we were able to start Rayanne on a high CBD, low THC cannabis oil called Charlotte's Web Oil. And after starting that, we immediately started to see some success. And working with her neurologist, we were able to get her to a point where she was seizure-free and to come off of her pharmaceuticals.
How did you meet the Stanley Brothers or the Charlotte's Web people?
Yeah, so it was a CNN documentary that came out by Dr. Sanjay Gupta that featured them and featured a little girl by the name of Charlotte Figge.
Yeah.
And we saw Charlotte's story and wanted that success for Rayanne.
But at that juncture, correct me if I'm wrong, but it wasn't available in the state of Florida.
Correct, it was not.
So you made some instrumental moves to change that.
Yeah, we had a decision to make. We could move to Colorado, where it was legal, or we could try to get it passed and legal in Florida. And so that's what we did. Representative Gates at the time invited us to speak at a rulemaking workshop that he was having for the bill. And after being there and seeing all the other families that could benefit from this, we decided to stay and fight for this to become a available option for patients in Florida. And sure enough, the Compassionate Medical Cannabis Act passed in 2014.
Thanks to you.
In
major part, and many other people, I understand, but you were definitely spearheading the programming.
Our goal was to help all the representatives and senators to connect with someone, and so we wanted them to meet Rayanne and get to know Rayanne so they could see that this is helping a real person. This isn't, someone in dreadlocks and a Bob Marley t-shirt coming in saying, hey, legalize cannabis. This is a real human being, a child that this could potentially help.
Jamie, is Skylar on any of these CBD oils?
She's not. We have done some clinical trials with other medications, and she's not at this point.
But is she doing well seizure-wise? Or
she is seizure-wise. We've seen improvement,
Great.
so it's kind of as a parent, you have to make a decision to rock the boat or not. And so if you hit a place of some stability, you take a deep breath and hold on and sit there.
And how old is Skylar now?
Skylar's 15.
15. All right. So very, very similar age group.
Yeah.
So it's always obviously very personalized to each person, child, however it works. It's worked wonderfully for Rayanne. Tell me about the resources. I know a lot of our viewers are out there and they're like, wow, I wish we knew where to go or what the resources are, whether they're for medical marijuana or whether CBD oils or whether it's for equine therapy or anything that can help whoever's in need. And where do you go for resources? I mean, how do you track it down?
Do you like to go ahead?
Well, I do know that there are groups such as the Epilepsy Foundation where you can find some centralized guidance as to what's available in the community.
Is that local here in Northwest Florida, or is that?
There is, and Holley's probably can speak more to that as to who the contact there would be, but there is a local branch. Yeah.
So who would one contact, Holly? Is that a?
Yeah, so you can look up Epilepsy Foundation of Florida, and they're fairly new to the area. They've had some changes within their program, and for us, it was getting Rayanne involved as much as we could in other activities. So we put Rayanne in Special Olympics. We put Rayanne in Miracle League. There's an amazing program called Sea Stars for children with disabilities for swimming. Equine therapy. She was going to Leaning Post Ranch, and then we found out about Jamie's. It was just to help her become the best, help her with her confidence as much as we could. I think that's so important for kids with disabilities to feel wanted, feel needed, and to build that confidence.
I heard recently they're opening a new school facility.
Yes,
Is it
we're so excited.
Catholic?
Pensacola Catholic High School is starting a program called Morning Star High School, and it's for children with disabilities. We've never had this option before. You always just went to the high school that you were allocated for, but now we have another option for kids with disabilities, and it's really nice.
Yeah. How is Skylar doing in school?
She's actually homeschooled.
Okay.
We've tried public school, we've tried private school, and ended up in homeschool of days and you miss a lot of school and it's hard to catch up. So
How about Rayanne? How's she doing?
We get that. Rayanne's repeated mini grades because of how many days she misses school. Rayanne's now really thriving. This past quarter, she just got straight A's. I mean, she's just doing marvelous. I know, I could not be more proud of her. And then socially as well, joining Key Club and becoming involved in the school is just really
So these social activities, these extracurricular activities, if you will, are highly beneficial, or is it something that is a must?
Each kid's different. For Rayanne, she's very social. She wants that activity. So I
can
think
tell she's social, and she dresses wonderfully.
I think Skylar's very involved too, though.
yeah, and we through our church have kept her involved there. American Heritage Girls is a troop that sort of like a Girl Scout type troop.
Is that for special needs children?
It
or?
is not, but they're very.
And what's the
very
name of it again?
welcoming. American Heritage Girls.
American Heritage Girls.
She's involved there. We've done music lessons and tried all the different different activities. Sea Stars was a good resource. It's definitely important, and I think too, integrating into facilities and programs that maybe aren't specific to special needs, but are willing to do whatever they can to adapt their program or a class to meet the child's
Let
needs.
me aim this question at both of you. What do you feel is the greatest need currently, if anything? Say not just within our community, but communities nationwide. What would be the greatest need? Is it facilities? Is it resourcing? Is it support groups? I mean, what would you say is next? What's needed?
I think resourcing for sure. Often the children with special needs, the families are struggling financially because of the medical bills, and one parent often has to be home because of caregivers. So I think resourcing is always going to be a need, and then support and looking beyond just that child to the family. There are siblings whose lives are very much affected, and I think they often are kind of pushed to the background.
I can understand that. Yeah. Well, you could probably speak to realm of caring. Tell me a little bit about realm of caring, because that's a nationwide.
Yeah, it's based in Colorado. They help families.
This is an offshoot of the Stanley Brothers enterprises, right?
Right. They help families or individuals, caregivers who need help with cannabis-specific kind of education and therapy. So if for instance, Florida, this is fairly new. All the physicians in Florida aren't familiar with how to dose cannabis. So they're just a nice resource to be able to give you some suggestions or hook you up with other people who might be able to help you do this.
And that's Realm of Caring is based in Colorado, right, with the Stanley Brothers operation. You had an organization called Ray of Hope. Did you take Ray of Hope and put that into Realm of Caring?
Yes. I kind of gave it to them to let them continue on. They not only work on the education and the helping the families, they help with funding as well. So we just gave it to them and let them do it all for them.
Jamie, you just touched on a point. Caregivers. Like caregivers in general are often left behind, if you will. Whether you're caring for an elderly parent or whether you're caring for special needs children, whoever you're caring for. How do you personally deal with that? What's your support group?
My horses.
Your horses. Okay.
No, I think you definitely have to connect with others who are understanding of the situation and what you're going through. It can be isolating because other people don't understand, and so
the isolation factor is a huge factor, because you spend 23 hours of your day or more concerned about who you're caring for in some way or another, and it's very difficult to move away from that and care for oneself. I've been there, and I know a lot of people. Same with you, I'm sure. And you've got Peyton, I know, is a huge support.
For me, it's finding my outlet and realizing that it's not being selfish to take the time to for me, it's yoga. I just had to take the time to do that and realize if I want to be the best mother in life that I can be, I need to just allow myself those few hours for myself.
Yeah. I've had many conversations with caregivers, and that's really the main topic, is you've got to not consider it selfish, and you've got, if you're healthy and well, then you can continue caring. If you go down, everything goes down with you. So, but same thing with now you both have multiple children. So the other children are special needs or not, or no, in neither case. So how does that interaction play in? Because I mean, Jamie, I see your little boy out here today with your husband. He's having a fine time chasing chickens.
Yes.
And Gabby's, where's the Gabby? There's Gabby. She's great at handling night owl. You got her right. So how does that time management wise? I mean, obviously special needs children take more time. So how does that play out in your lives, and any recommendations you can give to other caregivers?
Our household for so long kind of revolved around Rhiann and Rhiann's safety. And the kids were very involved in her care. They knew what to do when she had a seizure, and I knew that was heavy for them. But at the same time, I feel like it's going to make them who they are and make them better people in the long run. But my husband and I tried really hard to kind of do dates with them. So take them one-on-one just for some special time. It could be something, if we don't have a lot of time, just as quick as going to get some ice cream and just the two of us talking. But we felt like that was really important.
Did you find the same?
We did the same or similar things, having the one-on-one time.
So you get quality, dedicated time to the other children, kind of more compressed time, if you will.
And we've had the support of grandparents that have been fantastic. So
extended family, there's another whole episode right there. Do you feel that the understanding of the special needs children that you have, is there an acceptance of them in general? I'm sure close family members, yes, but you know, some people are kind of scared of the special needs children, or wary of. How do you work around that?
For Rhiann, from the beginning, I wanted her to be accepted and understood, so I would go into her gen ed classroom and with her, and we would just answer any questions that the kids had. We would describe epilepsy, we would describe cerebral palsy, and then I would have her leave, and I would let the kids ask me any questions. So we would get questions like, why does she drool? Why does she walk in such a way?
Right.
And so, and we would just answer those. And I think just the knowledge, the education takes away some of the fear. And then she had the most amazing kids then who would step up and kind of have her back.
Perfect. Skylar's got control of the night owl. Yeah, night owl is in the training process, and Jamie, I'm so excited to have you out here today to meet night owl. One of the future, or part of the plans for her, is not just the enjoyment of trail riding and being all mine. I'm intending to share her in some kind of therapy world, whatever that is. I have some great friends who have other people, whether it's PTSD or traumatic brain injury or a variety of other situations. You know, sometimes just walking the night owl around the paddock for an hour. Do you have plenty of volunteers? Or you
always need more.
Oh, you always need more volunteers. You hear that?
No horse experience.
How do people find you if they want to volunteer?
Probably the website or Facebook would be the best.
Which is?
It's at Hope and Horses on Facebook, or Sparrow Therapy Services.
Could you spell that?
SPERO is Sparrow.
There we go. You don't have the time to volunteer. I'm sure, but I may have you volunteering with me with the night owl. So,
I would love to.
in as much as we're going to try and bring out as many people as we can on an individualistic basis or family basis here to Family Orchard Farms. As you see, there's a herd behind us. It's not just the night owl. Aaron and Todd have got 7 other horses here, so lots of interaction. I love to watch just the herd interact between themselves. Of course, Night Owl took over within about 3 weeks of being here. So she's become the herd leader. Maybe it's just her size, I'm not sure, but her personality as well. Now, the horses you have, is the personality important for a therapy horse? I mean,
Definitely. There's a vetting process they have to go through to make sure that they're appropriate for the job. It's very stressful because...
On you or the horse?
The horse.
Yes.
It is very stressful on the horse. So they have to be very tolerant of any unexpected behaviors or reactions from the children. Often a child has a walker on each side of them and someone handling the horse, and that's not a natural condition for the horse to be surrounded by people and have someone on their back. So it definitely takes a certain temperament, very patient, very tolerant and forgiving, willing to take a rider, pulling on the reins, and a leader saying, no, actually we're going to do this.
And how long did it take you to train the horse or bring the horses into that comfortable condition?
It's about 6 months of making sure that they're a good fit. It takes that. It's a couple months of having them acclimate to just being on the property and get them introduced to a herd.
That's where I'm at with Night Owl right now. She's been here about 3 months, and it's taken that amount of time just to slowly integrate and figure everything out. So
and then you start seeing their true temperament and personality. And in a lesson with a rider, we may be throwing basketballs or shooting water guns, and the horse needs to not be reactive to that. So there's quite a bit of desensitization that goes on.
now, Holley, Rayanne interacted wonderfully with Night Owl the very first time that they met a couple of weeks ago.
She did lessons at Leading Post Ranch for some time, and then she's been to Jamie, so she's comfortable with horses.
Has she ridden your horses? Yeah? How'd she get on?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Jamie's horses are so sweet. I mean, just very gentle. I think one of them, if I remember, the nose is crooked or something.
Yeah, we have a special needs horse too. And she's perfect for her job. So.
Now, is there a monetary thing involved here? You charge for these sessions?
I do have to charge.
Yeah, no, I understand. Horses are expensive, as are facilities. No, I understand that.
Yeah.
But it's something that is manageable, right? Do you have?
It is. I charge about the rate of a regular riding lesson, but I work with families, and I'm not a nonprofit at this point, but I do have some individuals who believe in what we're doing, who are willing to.
I was just going to answer that. Do you have any sponsors who can sponsor time for children or adults that can't afford it?
I do. I do have some very generous people who are willing to support that as needed, and I can do some sliding scale to. Unfortunately, I can't do that for everyone because they do have to eat. So I do have to feed them, and essentially my goal is that they just pay for themselves. It's not a money making business by any means, owning horses. So we're I do have to charge, though there is a fee, but I work with the family to make sure we can make it happen.
Holley, have you done a family quote unquote therapy session with Jamie?
We have not. Incredible.
No.
Yeah.
Take Peyton and Gabby and everybody and just no. Because I understand that the dynamics of equine therapy in a family situation is an entirely different ballgame. You've got multiple personalities and energies and everything going on. Is that something you also can help with, or?
I can. I have not done. I've worked with a parent and child, but not a full family. But it is definitely beneficial, and you see, in a family you can kind of compare that to a herd. There is a hierarchy and the dynamics, and you can make correlations there.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I knew some people in Mississippi who had equine therapy. Tim Risley, but he Equine Healing Solutions, who has an excellent program in Mississippi. But he also did a lot of corporate events, if you will, where corporate CEOs would come out with their team and use it as a team building thing. Is that something you're involved in as well?
I have not done that, but I was recently at a conference where we did some talk about that, and they were promoting it as a great resource for the community too, and to bring a business and have some partnership with them as well, and possibly support for as a nonprofit.
Because you can get really amazingly fast results from just a half a day, or even better, a full day of being with either family members or team members, or you can sort out a lot of dynamics very, very quickly through the horses.
Well, they're large animals, and they kind of command your attention, and you work on assertiveness and trust, and
trust is a huge factor with horses. And Skylar, look at you.
I think they're friends.
I think you've made a new friend. Did you put the owl feather in her mane? Destiny did. All right. Yeah, Destiny had just groomed her and put a plait in her tail. Thank you for taking care of her, Skylar. We'll saddle her up one day for you when she's ready. How about that? Well, I don't want to belabor the point, but if you have something to say to the viewers, and we have viewers all around the world, literally, that have found it interesting to tune in to our programming and meet different people and have something about horses. If you had one thing you'd like, and I'll start with you, Jaime, if you had one thing you'd like to say to the viewers on the subject of equine therapy and or special needs children, what would you like to say to them?
I think outside the box and be compassionate. The equine therapy there's so many different niches in that, but that being willing to support that in your community, and any other activity where whether it's dance or martial arts or any activity like that where you could include special needs children and their families, it's a huge need, and it's very rewarding. There is definitely an intrinsic reward for those who are providing the service.
Yeah, I agree. We have a great friend, Belle Bear, who's involved in the community at ARC and has been terrifically helpful for many, many years on all of this. We know there's a need for more of that in every community, not just ours, but we're very thankful that we have it. Do you have any other pets?
Yes, we have a couple dogs and a cat. We've had chickens, and we've done pigs and had a donkey. But right now we're just down to the horses, dogs, and cats.
Okay, so pets in general are a happy, healthy thing to have.
Yes, we actually have a service dog as well. He's a seizure response dog.
A seizure response dog.
Yes.
Okay, there's another
We
whole
have him
element.
as well. Yeah.
All right, we'll have to. What's the name? What's the dog's name?
Patron.
Patron. Great name. We'll have to meet Patron at some future point. And Holley, same question to you. If you wanted to say one thing to the viewers about anything we're discussing, what would you say?
My message usually is never give up. So if you have a physician who maybe tells you, this is all that we can do for you, is to just trust that instinct, that kind of motherly instinct, and to keep looking, get a second opinion, get a third opinion, and just never give up hope. Thank goodness we didn't do that with Rayan, and just trust, the doctor said this is all we can do, and then we kept looking, because here we are today, celebrating 3 years seizure-free and enjoying this beautiful day outside.
I got to thank you both for taking the time, and I know our viewers will thank you too for all the tremendous efforts and everything you've done over the years, not just for your own children, but for helping everybody else. I will say to our viewers that if you'd like any resources, you can certainly email me. It's Philip with 2 L's at nightowlrider.com, and I can help forward any kind of resources to you. I know Realm of Caring, certainly I know they have thousands of people nationwide, but another great resource, and locally. But reach out if you need to help in some way, or if you think that I can help in my own small way, and eventually come out and meet the night owl. All right, kids, did you catch the chickens? No? Didn't catch any? Where's Rayanne? Oh, she's down there happy on the swing.
Look at the color of those white horses. It's so funny.
you can groom.
You should see them. They're beautiful blue eyes.
Well, as promised, there's going to be a lot of very interesting people interviewed on this channel, and I want to give a special thank you to Jaime and to Holley today, and to both their children who were also with us. Rayanne and Skylar came out to join some time with Night Owl. And again, if you have any questions or would like some referrals, you can always email me. It's Philip with 2 L's at nightowlrider.com, and I'll be happy to pass on any resources we have. So thank you for tuning in. Peace.